quick things like 9:15, but I wanted to go. There's the ale house right here, there's like a Carolina ale house or whatever, and just go hang for a little bit, grab a soda or a drink, grab an appetizer, and just get a little bit of time to say hi, because I've been gone and I'd love to like hang for a bit. And then I know some people are going out, to go out for Muxo's birthday and doing different things tonight. But just wanted to get a little bit of time together later to just, say what's up and enjoy whatever 30 minutes, 45 minutes together, instead of being here from 9:15 to 10, go there from 9:15 to 10, and whoever stays longer stays, and everybody go about their ways. I just want to get some time with you guys and just say what's up. I'm excited to have us, here together again. I know like Luna's out of town traveling. Eric got stuff going on with family. Paz is over in Tampa right now with the family. Muxo has birthday stuff happening here, but again, excited to have you guys here. And I know we have other guys that have things going on for the holidays right now who are out with family and friends. But I shared, I wanted to share with you guys some thoughts about, as we go into, I know that this past December, especially for our guys who have been here in Miami, has really been it's a very different December than we've ever had. If you look at performance, probably the lowest performing December we've ever had. And I wouldn't say it's because of this or this. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But one of the things that I really thought about, in any given time as a leader, as a true leader, the best leaders can always like look at themselves and say, okay, was I doing everything I needed to in order for things to like be performing where they needed to be? And I can say for myself, I know that I wasn't doing everything that I needed to, or having every, conversation how I needed to in order for us to be performing where we needed to be. And I think about, for you guys as a assistant manager, as a team leader, as an FSM, as whatever it is, one of the biggest ways that we lead is through example, and we talk about that all year, and just the sales performance. And that's why that's such a big thing through the SE2 push, the people that stand out, right? And being impressive before you have your interviews with Jeff, and what you do after. And we look to see, like, are these people that can step up when needed? Are these people that can perform? Are these people that can lead by example? Those are things that obviously we look for with anything, right? You play sports, you do whatever you want to make sure this person gets out on the field. They're going to be able to freaking go out there and perform. And so those are things that we look for. And in our business, I think it's really neat that you guys, as you're moving up in different positions, there's certain type of leadership that newer reps, and I was talking to the guys in Texas this past week about this, because so many reps I see move into a leadership type position, right? So like this week, I want to put our team for these next 2 weeks, like this week and next week, I wanted to have us go into like 3 to 5 different teams. I know I talked to Caro already, and she's like, I'm down to like drive a team, whatever, but that you have, 5 to 7 people that you're just kind of, rallying up and like driving through this team and having some fun, talking to me every day, coaching your team and working with your team and having some fun with them for the break. And then obviously right after the break, like a lot of people are going to be leaving for school. So we'll rearrange stuff for the spring. But just getting, just like during SE2, when we split up into teams during SE2, I want to split up into teams for this push. And again, it'll be smaller. We're going to have a launch out this weekend from all the guys that are home for the break. But many of them are just working a week before they leave back to school. We have a lot of guys just working for the break. And then others will be spring workers, which is exciting. And we're really looking to build our spring development. But I talked about, some of you guys have heard about this before. Some of you guys have read the book before, 5 Levels of Leadership. All right. Who's heard of that book, by the way? So John Maxwell, fantastic book. If you haven't read it, it's a really great book to read in leadership. But the first like level of leadership, and really like the lowest level of leadership, is through position, through title, right? This is something that people follow you because they have to, because you're the assistant manager, or because you're the team leader, or because whatever, because you have a certain title. That's why they listen to you. That's why they follow you. And so a lot of times people will get into a position and they're just kind of like, well, I'm the whatever. Tonight we'll be recognizing Jarrell will be taking over as Dom now for the spring campaign, going into the spring and training to be, district manager this summer. And so we'll be really like coaching him and developing him. He's never been in that role where he's like in charge with the leadership. He ran his own branch and did a great job. I really didn't know what he was doing. Still did a fantastic job, not knowing what he was doing. Just went out there and did it, and was still one of the top, branch performers. And so I'm excited to see as he intentionally trains, through this break, direct with me, and through the spring with myself, with Mario supporting, with the other staff members, and we're able to really coach him and develop him, where he'll be. But really not just him, everybody, where are we at? Are you just in a position and you're just a title, or is there a next level? The second level of leadership that John Maxwell talks about is relationships or permission, all right? And so this is people follow you because they want to. And so a lot of you guys have built relationships. And so there'll be certain people that like you've talked to on PDI or whatever, and like they'll answer and they want to be because they want to, because they have a relationship with you, they like you, or they have a connection. And so they'll listen because they want to listen to you. You're someone that's likable, that they're excited about leading them, all right? And so that's step two. And so I think about for yourself, where are you at with certain people? Maybe when you're overseeing a team or you're overseeing something, you're like, okay, they're following me because I'm the assistant manager. Or have you actually taken time to connect with them where they want to listen to you, they want to be coached by you? Like that's really big. Well, where we take it a step further and where there's more influence is step three. And step three is production. It's based on results. People follow you because what you've done for the organization. And so that's something that you'll see people be able to lead at a higher level because there's been more production. That's why we talk so much about personal sales and the promotions and getting in certain places, because there's a higher level of respect and you're also able to say like, well, I've done this or I've accomplished this. There's certain accomplishments that are there. So there's more validity. There's people that really want to learn from you because they know like the things that you've accomplished. And so they want to do some of those same things. And so you're managing from a completely different place when you're, from production. And so maybe you haven't produced at the level you wanted to. Some of you guys in this room have done a great job producing and getting different accolades in Cutco. Well, some of you guys have not hit the levels that you want to hit. Maybe you've never had a big push. Maybe you've never had, and this is the time to really go out and make a statement and do something different, and go out and produce some great results from your actions, and what could you do these next 2 weeks around, whatever you have going on personally to go out and make something big happen. And I'm really excited to see what happens through this break. And there's people that like turn it around. That's what I was talking with you about before. Like you could have done nothing all fall and people come up and during this break really stand out, really go out and make a name for themselves, put away a ton of money and really put themselves as a top candidate where they might have not been at the top of the list, during the fall campaign, but all of a sudden that all changes. So what can you be doing right now through production to make that happen? The fourth level of leadership, by the way, a lot of people never get a chance to have, and in our company we do, which is amazing. And by the way, many times you can even skip step three, which isn't ideal. Ideally, you have all of it, but you're able to skip it because step four is so powerful and our business allows it, and it's through people development. And so this is people follow you because of what you've done for them. And so you've been able to connect with someone at a certain point where you've been able to help them through something personal, something they've been through, whatever that is, and you're able to help them on a deeper level, which many of you guys have had different experiences with that. And so you're able to lead people on a higher level because you've really helped them through something. All right. So I think that's really cool because a lot of people in their businesses and their lives will never have a chance to lead at a fourth level leadership. And because of the business that we have, we're able to lead on that level, which is a very high level just because of the nature of how we work. And then step five, a lot of people will never accomplish in their life, and I know that for myself, I haven't even hit, and I'm excited about this year, really that being something that I'm focused on is just really who I am and what I'm all about in every aspect of my life, not just in this aspect or at work or whatever, but just in general, everything I am, everything I stand for. And it's called the pinnacle level of leadership. And that's based on, people follow you because of who you are, and because of what you represent, and the type of person you are, the characteristics you have, the attributes you have. And that's why people follow you, and that's a very powerful place. And I could say that there's been times where I've had level 5 with certain people. And by the way, you're not just one level of leadership, period, with everybody. With different people, you're at different levels. With some people, you might just be a title. They don't know anything else. You haven't done anything for that. Like they don't know anything. Where for other people, you might be leading them at a level 3 or a level 4 or whatever it is. And can you get yourself to a place where you're able to lead, where you're a certain type of leader and you're able to lead in all areas of your life at a certain place. And that's a really powerful thing. And so one of the things I know some of you guys have heard, and I don't know, did Jeff talk at all this prep about like the 4 agreements? Did he talk about it? I guess no. So this was something that I heard a couple years back, and we had talked about in our DM retreats when we had gone to Puerto Rico, and we talked about this prior. And it's a phenomenal book, and it's something that Jeff had given me to read, and it's something that I really want to be the cornerstone of our division. Our division here in FC, all of our district, all the Sharpies, people that come, no matter where we are, no matter where we go, that we're able to embody this. Because when we're able to embody this as people, as leaders, it's amazing what happens around you. And so in this book, The 4 Agreements, it talks about, living living by these 4 core values, and the power that comes from living in these 4 core values is huge, all right? And the first one is being impeccable with your word. And you think about what are you saying? You know, do you speak with integrity? Is what you're saying? Do you exaggerate things, or are you saying things that are true? You know, can people trust you? Only say what you mean. Sometimes, you know, we've all been in a place where we got upset at something or upset at someone, and we said things we didn't mean, you know, which caused more hurt for them or whatever it was, because we were using our word not in the best way. Maybe, you know, maybe we were upset with something, and we just started looking around, pointing fingers, saying, "Oh, they're doing this or this is happening." It's like, oh, well, is that really true or not? Because that might not be what's happening. So be careful. You know, being, you know, not using the word to gossip against anyone or say, you know, malintended things against anyone. Like sometimes you just don't know what's happening. You don't know where people are at on what they're going through personally, right? And so let's say, even like for Jeff, for example, let's say if he was short with someone with something going on, or he was short, and you're like, what the heck? You know, look at him, he doesn't care, or look how short he's being or whatever. And it's like his dad's about to like he's just he's freaking out inside right now. And so yeah, he was being short. It wasn't because he was upset with you or because whatever, but then you're not impeccable with your word because you were upset or whatever. And it goes to the second point of taking things personally, and you're not reacting in the right way with it. And so, you know, make sure that you're using the power of the word to really, you know, in the direction of like truth and love. And that's something that this past week for me when I was at Tony Robbins was a big factor of mine. It's like, you know, can I live, can I lead in a way that's coming through love and connection and energy and health? Because that's how I want to lead. And I know that anytime I fully apply myself with anything that I do, I'm always going to create something great. And so I don't need to be stressed out. I don't need to work out of anxiety. I don't need to work out of that. I need to work through connecting with people, through conversations, through loving people, growing people, because I know if that's happening, everything else is going to line right into place. So that's the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. And this is so huge, especially in the people that we work with, the age group that we work with, right? We work with a lot of high school seniors and college students, okay? And I think about high school seniors and college students and just where they're at. It's so easy to take anything that happens personally, you know, and that's just human beings. Like if you haven't been coached, you're going to take it however you see it, right? Like, and you'll take it however it goes. And that was something I remember when I went to Landmark back in 2006. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this before. Some of you guys might not have heard me talk about this, but I talk about, like, let's say Mario and I, like, we're looking at this object, right? And it's a, let's say it's a tissue box, right? Or whatever, Margarita and I did here. So we have this shoe box. So someone's showing you. So you're seeing the top of it, right? And I'm seeing the bottom of it. So someone just shows me the glimpse and they say, what do you see? I'm like, I see white cardboard, like a box, you know, but I see like a white cardboard box. And then you're like, what do you mean? It's like, there's a pink box with flowers, there's these yellow tissues coming out of it. And so you start like talking about that. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Margarita? I'm like, I see this white box. And you're like, no way. There's pink and there's yellow tissues and whatever. And you're going, and I'm like, are you blind? Like, what are you looking at? You know, we could sit here and be like, and get into this whole argument. And I could be like, something is wrong with you, you know? And we're looking at the same thing, but we're looking at it from different perspective. Does that register with everybody? And so when you're looking at things from different, this is huge. This is huge for your relationships, like dating relationships, siblings, parents, anybody, of really being able. And it's not easy to do. I'm not always doing this for, like, I have to like intentionally stop myself and go, okay, where could the other person be coming from? It's not easy, all right? It doesn't just happen naturally, but it's being aware and being able to say, okay, I need to take a step back, because I screw up all the time, you know, and even got back and got interactions with friends and family where it's just like, I got to just stop and step back. And it's like, okay, and really be able to try to see it from the other person's standpoint, because if not, we're never going to get anywhere, because as human beings, we naturally take things personally. Something doesn't happen, you know, someone doesn't call, and you never know what's going on. I gave an example at the prep about, you know, like, let's say you like started talking to someone and they're supposed to call you that night and you're like so excited, and then they didn't call you and you're like, oh my God, they didn't call me, and you're like all sad and upset, whatever. And then the next day, like, I dropped my phone in the toilet, you know, they finally get a hold of you and you're like, oh, cool, you know, but for that like whole night, you were driving yourself nuts, or like you were tearing yourself up of this or that or whatever might have happened. And it's a natural thing. It's like, what did I do wrong? But it's like nothing. Their phone fell in the toilet, like that's what happened, like you didn't do anything wrong. And guys, remembering too that when things happen or interactions happen with other people, what others say and do is a projection of their own reality. So how we were saying, like everything she's telling me is from where she's seeing it, and that was true. And many times we're saying stuff that it's true to us, it's true to our reality, it's true from our perception, it's true from our viewpoint, and we can't forget that. And so that's how someone's feeling. But really being able to step back and again see the different sides of it, and not playing the victim. And when you can really like forget about what other people think, that's when you're not going to be like a victim of like needless suffering. And we naturally as human beings put ourselves through so much and tear ourselves up in our head through things that we didn't even need to do that. So just being careful of that. The third thing which goes along with that is don't make assumptions. It's very easy to assume something's a scenario or someone feels a certain way or this is why this is happening. And instead, why not ask questions? And not ask questions trying to interrogate someone, but ask questions really trying to understand. Like, hey, what was happening here? Or help me to understand this. Or really trying to see where someone was coming from. Because when you can find the courage to really ask questions versus assuming this is going on or this is not going to happen or whatever it is, you're going to be a lot more carefree. And you're going to feel like that agreement alone transforms your life because you're not stressing over anything because like you know exactly what's going on, you know exactly the answers to what's happening versus assuming what it is. You need to communicate with people as clearly as possible, as often as possible to avoid misunderstandings, guys, or sadness or drama, because I see it happen all the time. I've seen it happen in our office. I've seen it happen this fall. I see it happen everywhere. And it's just you can eliminate so much of that if you're just communicating effectively, asking questions and going through, even as simple as like, when kind of we were talking about like you're in your office or this or that happening, and it's like don't make assumptions of this. It's like just communicate. Hey, how do I get this done? Or I need to. Okay, cool. And we rearrange and there's no issues and there's no drama and there's no like needless suffering and there's no stress. Just a simple conversation changes stuff around. But if you assume, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to be, or like that's assuming, that's not going to create anything positive coming out of it, and it just creates more stress. All right. And the last thing is always do your best. And as silly and as cheesy as this can sound, and these are 4 agreements that if you can live your life around, you really transform your life. All right. This is not a kid's book. This is like an adult book. All right. Where you're like, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions and do your best at all times. And your best is going to vary at different times based on your health, based on what resources you have. That's going to be different at different times. But if you can feel good about that, it's really something that under any circumstance, you can look back. You won't have self-judgment. You won't have self-abuse. You won't have regrets because you know that you gave what you had at that moment, and not comparing yourself to other people, not comparing and saying, oh, this person's doing this, but I'm not doing. Can you feel good that you're doing your best? And stop looking around and stop comparing yourself to other people, but compare yourself, to your work ethic, to your discipline, to what you feel you're capable of. Because if you're doing that, that's where you're going to create the most magic for your life. When you're comparing against other people, you drive yourself nuts, you tear yourself up. You're not able to perform at the levels that you could be performing at. And you're not going to be able to maximize whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether you're running your branch, whether you're working as an assistant manager, whether you're just trying to be a top push performer, whether you're a district manager, whatever it is, you're not going to be able to be fully happy with what you're doing if you're constantly trying to compare yourself to other people. But if you can say I feel damn good about what I did and this function or that, or, and you're feeling good about, you're not going to have any regrets, and you're going to feel good as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're executing. And so this is something that I'm really, really passionate about as we go into this year, as we go into 2015, is really embodying this. How many leaders can we develop that can get to a level 5 type of leadership? It's something that some people will never achieve in their life, by the way. How many of you guys will get to a level 4 maybe, and maybe not even level 5, but level 5 happens when we can live these 4 agreements out. Because when you're really living this out, you're in a pure state, where there's you're understanding, you're listening, you're communicating, and it's just, you're going to feel on a completely different level how you interact with people. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because for anyone who's around me going into this year, for anyone that's interacting, and you guys are people that I want to be able to have weekly touches with. I want to have, can we have every week, we have 15 minutes, so we're just chatting. How's this? How's that? Whatever it is. If you need longer, then we plan longer. But I want my time to go to you guys. You guys are the most important people. You guys are people that, you know, I got a chance to work with this past summer and see grow and develop in a lot of different ways. And obviously there's more of you, but like, that's where I want my time to go. You know, like I want to give my energy, like as my 20% of my energy, I wanted to go to my top people, you know, and really coach you guys and get, because there's only so much energy that I have, and I could spread it around to everybody, or I could give it all to you guys, you know, and that's where you're going to get the most value from me, is me being able to pour into you guys. And I really, that's something I'm really excited about. And so again, this past fall, there was full intentions of like, can we call, and it might not be weekly, it might be every other week. There'll be some weeks that I'm traveling, or you have baseball, or you have this, or, you know, whatever's going on. But just being able to keep in know, be able to communicate, know what's happening, how you're feeling, you know, whatever's happening, so you can be best supported. You guys have an unbelievable opportunity in this business for things that people will never be able to do anywhere else at your age, to learn things that you won't be able to learn without paying tens of thousands of dollars for, you know, for another degree or schooling. And it's still a lot of it's book knowledge versus like really hands-on knowledge. And for you guys to have the opportunity to learn a lot of the leadership type skills, entrepreneurial skills that you can learn at this age, you know, with not paying like tens of thousands of dollars and going through, you know, years of whatever, like a year, 2-year, 3-year program, you guys can do it in such a short time. I hate to see you guys throw it away. I'd hate to see you guys throw away such an unbelievable opportunity, you know. So my goals through this push to really help you guys get what you want and get the most out of it, and really help you achieve at the highest level, you know, and be able to earn the highest level, and whatever happens, happens. But being able to communicate with each of you, and I want to make sure that I have, you know, time with each of you, and I already got some time with Tova earlier today, and I know where Jarrell's at, and we're going to be talking a lot, but getting some time with you guys, and I know I got to touch Mario a bit yesterday, but just to really see, you know, what you want to get most out of this, because when we're doing this the right way and everyone's getting the most out of it, is when our team performs at the highest level. And we've said this before, but it's just a reminder, because this has not been happening, is that when our individuals are performing, and especially our top people, that's when we're going to have a huge team performance. And so that's been lacking. And people are wondering, why have we not been selling as much as we can? You know, why are we going to lose a silver cup? Why are we going to, you know what? We have a week left, and we can definitely make some big shit happen this week. I know that. We have freaking talented ass people, and this whole week counts until Monday. Counts for the push, and it counts for the silver cup, you know. And so anything you guys can throw down. I got some sales this past week. I'm following up with old customers. Anything we can pull off. Like I'm not going to stop. I'm going to finish on Monday and know I gave the best I had. I was traveling. I was sending out text messages. I was following up with people. I was getting orders, and I'm going to know that like I did my best until the end of what I could have done to finish strong. Whatever happens, happens. But I want to feel good about the work that I'm doing. I want to feel good about the work that we're doing, and I want to make sure you guys are being supported, because I know that the group hasn't been supported the right way, and that comes right from the top, you know. But that's something that going into the new year is not happening. I know that's something that I want to be very intentional about, is making sure to support you guys the right way, so that we really take advantage of this year, because I love what I freaking do, you know, and that's why I'm taking a promotion. I love what we offer. I love what people can gain from it, and I'd hate for anyone to let it go to waste, you know, and not to able to maximize what they can get out of it. That really bothers me. You guys know, like for me, if I pick my dream title, it'd be maximum potential finder, and I really love seeing people really tap into that, and I'm really excited about helping you guys do that. So as we go into these weeks, yeah, we've got a week left right now to crush. And this is first week of the push. You know, push starts on Thursday or Friday. It's first day of the push. Everything that we are doing right now is all for the push, and building momentum into it to really crush this. By the way, a lot of people travel during this time of the year. So obviously the more we do right now, the bigger it's going to be, because you're going to need more people to